This is a big barn, and that is the learning pyramid. It's a model that helps learning professionals to look at different modes of learning, and then it gives you a percentage of the average retention rates of each of those modes. The problem with this model is that it's absolute bullshit. So in this video, I'm going to tell you why it's bullshit, and I'm going to give you a new model that you can actually use when you're designing your learning experiences. All right, what's so bad about this learning pyramid then? So it's been attributed to the National Training Laboratories, which are based in Bethel, Maine, in the USA, but apparently they can't find any trace of this research in their records. And from digging around a little bit, it actually looks like this hierarchy with these percentages comes from some random writings back in the 1900s, and there's been no research to date that can verify those percentages. Let's just do a common sense gut check on one of these numbers. So let's take the 10% of reading is retained. Now it's there at the top of the pyramid, it's kind of presented as a bad number, but think about if you retained 10% of what you read. So I studied English literature at university. I must have read 100 books, and I read them incredibly actively and in a very focused way, and I'm sure I remembered like 0.01%, if that, of the things that I read. 10% of something you read is an absolutely vast amount. So I think just that one example shows that these percentages are clearly not useful. Also, these modes of learning in the pyramid are just not comparable at all. So to be able to teach something, surely first you need to have read, watched, listened to things, discussed it, practiced, to then be able to teach it. And back to the percentages, what does 90% even mean? You know, do teachers remember 90% of everything they teach across an entire career? I mean, maybe they do, but I'm sure most of them don't. The reality of learning is obviously much more messy and much more complex than this model shows, so we should just get rid of the learning pyramid. But I promised you an alternative. So allow me to present The Cone of Experience by Edgar Dale. As you can see, let's move over there, no percentages, no retention rates, but what this is a classification of different media and different methods, from the most abstract at the top to the most concrete at the bottom. And how do we use this? We can use this as kind of a heuristic, like a mental model to figure out what mix we want in our learning experiences. So take a look at your latest designed learning experience. Are the things you're doing mainly at the top? Are the things you're doing mainly at the bottom? Are the things you're doing spread out across that cone? There's no right or wrong. There's no optimal mix of media and methods, but perhaps this cone can help you to diagnose the mix you've got in your learning experience and figure out what's right for you.